Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tangents, a show that was entirely manifested by a bunch of people in a YouTube comment section. My name is Lumo. With me is my good friend Zen.
Hello, I'm the other one of this.
And today, I kind of just wanted to talk a little bit. It's been a while. It's been maybe a day since we've talked. I've missed you, my love.
I know it's been too long. It's been too long.
So what Tangents is a show where we follow the conversational thread wherever it may go. We pick loose topics literally every time, and we hit maybe one of them, and then we see where else it leads. We're not the best at this. We're learning. It's episode 6. God.
To be fair, we did 3 episodes before we even announced it. Okay, so I think now that we're in the public, yeah, I guess we're being perceived now. It feels so real.
Yeah, we've been perceived. We have been perceived. So I just want to say thank you, everybody. The reception to our launch has been fantastic, and we really appreciate how much support you guys have shown. We were hoping to hit 100 views.
100 was like the benchmark across everything. It was like 100 subs, 100 views. yeah. What happened here?
Yeah, y'all like face punched that. It's really good. So we appreciate your support. Thank you, everybody. We love you. In a parasocial way, don't show up to my house asking for child support. So,
that's my job.
Here's the thing. You want to know what children do? Eat. You want to know what they eat? Cooking. Want to know what we're talking about today? Home cooking. That's right. God. It's a show, and we're doing one live here and now, except it's not live. The only person who's listening are the cockroaches in the walls.
So we're doing a live cooking show via podcast. This is revolutionary. It's going to be a long day.
You okay? You good, buddy?
It's gonna be a long day.
Man, I thought I was a train wreck today. Look at you go.
I'm sipping on my G-Sups right now.
I know. I'm like nursing a monster. Like, come on, I need to be an internet funny man. Just give me something, anything here. But no. So here's the thing. Normally, when topics come up for us, we pick them based off of things that have happened to us this week to trigger some sort of memory. And as you guys know, I am a man of many stories, a storyteller, if you will. It's something that I enjoy doing because I've lived a life to the amount of capacity that someone who has been stuck at home for the last 3 years can. And one of the skills that I picked up was cooking. I really love cooking. Cooking is a lot of fun, and I'm very okay at it. How would you rate your cooking skill, Alex? On a scale of 1 to food.
Woohoo! My current skills, actually, I would say around about maybe 8 to food. Like, I used to be terrible. I used to be absolutely horrendous. But then I started picking it up at like the beginning of quarantine and all that kind of stuff. I was like, you know, I should probably learn this. This seems like a necessary life skill.
Yeah, no, cooking is one of those things that I feel like should be universal to everybody. Like, obviously, people don't have to go too deep into it, but having 1 or 2, like, really nice comfort dishes that you can just bust out on a bad day is so nice.
Definitely. I'm gonna ask, like, what's your go-to I cannot be asked to do anything, so I'm just gonna throw this together meal?
Oh, dude, chili. 100% chili. I am... What, you saute some meat, you spice it up, you put in some legumes, some veg, you put it in the slow cooker, come back at night, and you're like, oh, my house smells like Texas.
Yo, fair enough.
How about you? What's your, like, I gotta eat something meal?
One of 2 things, and I know they're not, to me, it's just therapeutic at this point, and even though it takes a little bit of effort in comparison, it's either making pancakes, just make good old fluffy pancakes, or it's making sweet potato fries and roast chicken.
See, here's the thing. All of that sounds good, which is why it's not applicable to today's topic, bad home cooking. So, let me paint a picture for you with my words. Are you ready?
I am absolutely ready. I am submissive and suggestible today.
Well, I'm glad you're not breedable, because that would bring up a lot of questions. So, here's the thing.
Give it time.
Oh. So here's the thing. Like I said, I really like cooking chili. It's something that is easy for me. It's a lot of fun. And this story takes place a couple of years ago after my parents had just purchased a foodie. My mom had dehydrated some peppers that I'm pretty sure she had grown for the sole intent of us using them in dishes. And no one was touching them. And here's the thing, I'm very good with my spice. I think I have an above average spice tolerance. It's not amazing, but it's all right. So the thing is I was like, okay, I'm making chili. My last chili, kind of bland. I want to spice it up. I want to make nice chili. I'm sorry, there was actually some chili stuck on my teeth. I brushed. I don't know how I missed that.
Wow.
I just made chili last night. That's why I had this topic ready to go. But the thing is, though, nobody's home. This was back when I was still working retail, so I was the only one home, and I thought it would be a nice thing to do for my parents. So I brown the meat, get everything in the slow cooker, veggies, etc., all in there, and I'm seasoning it, and I go, I've got crushed red pepper flakes. These peppers are red that my mom dehydrated. Surely these must be the same thing, and surely fresh must be better than factory processed.
Oh no.
It was better than factory processed, so I crushed one up, I gave it a little, put a little bit on my finger, stuck it on my tongue. The spice was okay. Now, my dad and I are spice fiends. We have eaten foods that have made my friends cry. My mom isn't as spice tolerant.
Okay.
So I have to spice around her because I don't want to make something she can't eat. I'll feel terrible about that.
Yeah.
I put a little bit on my tongue, went, okay, this is fine. And this was like a double batch of chili because I wanted to have lunches for going to work. So I was like, I'm going to crush 3 of these peppers up and it'll be fantastic. So I crushed the peppers up, put them in, slow cookers go. Oh, yeah, no, I remember now. My mom was gone. It was just my dad and I home. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, I'm sorry. It's been so many years since this has happened that, some of the details are a bit fuzzy. But no, so that's why I used 3, because my mom wasn't home. And I just didn't care about the spice, because I thought I could handle it, and my dad could handle it. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't, stop to, meditate on this story before the episode. I just remember the pain of what happened next.
It's fine. Don't worry.
So the house smells fantastic. I have spent the entire day playing Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn, and I come downstairs, and it's so good. My dad comes home, he comments about how good the chili smells, and I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to eat whenever you are. So we sit down to have dinner, we turn the TV on, we're watching, I don't know, news or something.
Oh shit, I love that show.
Yeah, I love hit show news. So the thing is, though, is we both take a spoonful, we get, I don't know, a couple of bites in, and then we just look at each other. And the collective understanding of the absolute pain my father and I were So I'm choking on this shit as the spice has launched itself in my throat. My dad is sitting there questioning through gulps of water, "Are you trying to kill me?" And we have stopped paying attention to the TV as we are now desperately trying to cool our mouths down. Both of us are just beet red. My dad accuses me of patricide once again.
Whoa, hold on. Once again?
Oh, no, because he had done so earlier after the initial spice had hit. So the thing is once you realize that something hurts you, the ape brain views the substance entirely differently. And as I ran to the kitchen to try and get some milk or something, the vat of chili looked like poison sitting in the corner. So I'm sitting there, I'm spraying my mouth with whipped cream, trying to get the hurt out, just hoping that the sugar would kill the heat. And my dad comes in. He is taking this way better than I am. And so we decided we were going to just basically have sour cream with a side of chili with how much we mixed in to make it edible. So obviously that solution's not going to work, and we've got a double batch of death chili. So now we have to do something about this. So my mom comes home in a couple of days, and my dad and I just want to make sure this chili is edible. Not by her, by the general populace. We want this to be food. So what we end up doing is trying to mix brown sugar in with it, just to kill a little bit of the heat. Give a little bit of sweet, sweet heat. It's a nice combo.
Sweet heat, why not?
Unfortunately, all we did was make candied death chili. The spice was untouched.
Hold on, that actually sounds not bad.
If it didn't hurt so much, I would agree. It was actually pretty good tasting. Here's the thing.
The pain is only temporary. Once the pain receptors and the taste buds are like just scorched off, everything's fine.
I wish it did scorch them off. I would have been able to eat this, because here's the thing. This chili didn't serve its purpose as food. You want to know what it did serve its purpose as?
What did it?
Industrial grade horse laxative. Because roughly at the same time, my father and I once again made eye contact as we were trying to fix the death chili. And we both understood that it was now a matter of survival, because there was only one bathroom in the house you could take a dump in.
Oh. Wait, hang on. The other one has a sink, right?
No. I don't want to waffle stomp crap down like the farmhouse drains. That's awful.
I'm just saying, if push comes to shove and you need to shove something out your ass, that's the way to go.
So here's the thing. We never ended up fixing the death chili, but I did find a secondary use for it because I had been somewhat constipated at the time due to my subpar diet. And you want to know what solved that? Death chili. How did it solve it? Violent, sugarless Haribo gummy bear bodily purges.
No.
It was visceral. The amount of times I walked out of that bathroom in the next week sweating was just way too much. And I took it to work with me and fed it to a coworker I didn't like. Also funny. But
I'm sure that's workplace abuse at that point.
I warned them it was spicy. They knew the consequences and they still ate it. But so the thing is, the way that we ended up fixing it is we made a second batch of chili and just did not season nor spice it. And we just mixed the first batch of chili in with
You
that.
diluted it. You diluted chili with more chili.
We diluted the death chili and turned it into just above average heat chili. We had to do chili chemistry to make this anything palatable to like an actual person. It was just a nightmare.
Oh my God. I've gone so far off chili after living with one of my brothers for like a couple of years, because it was more or less once a week they would just destroy the kitchen and it'd be unusable for a day as they were cooking, like this giant massive container of freaking chili all through the day, and it would stink the damn place out. And the thing was, it didn't taste that good. So
yeah, to me that sounds like they were making bad chili. Like my chili tastes, I would say, really nice. It's one dish. I literally only make one dish. It like that's the only thing that's dirty. I hate doing the dishes enough that my cooking style has revolved around how few pots and pans can I use for this.
I see. You go for the this. It's not even simplistic, actually. Hold on. No, because to work with like one pot, you've got to really think about what you're doing. You're putting a lot of effort into it.
Yeah, competitive cooking. Like, screw casual cooking. We're going in ranked, dude.
Cooking speedrunning. Let's go.
Well, it's like, so my breakfast burritos that I like to make so much, when I was making those, they started off terrible, but I literally just focused down making nothing but breakfast burritos for like 6 months. And that's all I ate for breakfast. That was a really nice 6 months because they just kept getting better and better. But the thing is I started by using 2 or 3 pans for this. And at the end, I just resolved to using a griddle, taking everything off, heating the tortilla, and then putting everything back on the warm tortilla on the griddle. So I did all like the potatoes, all the veggies, the egg, everything on this griddle. And then I just put them in a bowl and then put them all back in the burrito after it had warmed up.
Oh, no.
Like, it worked, kind of.
Actually, I do kind of have my own one pot recipe that I used to make a lot back when I was like really poor in college. Trust me, it's nowhere near as elegant as chili.
Man, that period of your life ended in college?
Sorry?
I said, oh, the poor period of your life ended in college? Enviable. I'm still on a speed run.
I said that to give a little bit of context for other people, but no, it's not ended. It's all good.
Suffer friends.
I don't know if you have it over in America, but we have like these packet dehydrated noodles, which you just pop in water, and they're called super noodles over here.
Oh, For us, it's called instant ramen, or in my family, they were called noo-noos.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. The nudes over here, we basically just get like a block of dried noodles and a sachet of
Dried spit.
just a sachet of dried spices to give it a sense of it tastes like what it's on the package. No, it doesn't. So you could get these like really fairly cheap. So being the poor man that I was, I decided I'm gonna try and make this a bit gourmet. So I ended up combining super noodles with chicken soup. Which is fine. That's just chicken noodle soup at that point. Then I added sweet corn, peas, and Spam. And I thought, God damn, yes, this is gourmet. Yes, please. And I had this straight for about 2 months. And then I realized, actually, this tastes like crap. I could be using each of these ingredients to better use.
Yeah, the addition of Spam kind of like scared me off from that recipe.
Hold on. Hang on. You don't like Spam?
I do not like Spam, not in my email, nor in my ham.
You don't like scientifically produced artificial meat? Spam.
I had so many joke paths, and all of them just collided and killed every single one.
You do know that's what Spam stands for, right?
No, actually. I thought it was just called Spam.
No, Spam it was made for like, Spam originated in like World War II or something like that. Food rations and meat was going down. So they started to like mass produce meat in labs, and that's what Spam is. It's scientifically produced artificial meat.
See, I thought they just called it Spam because they spammed it everywhere.
I mean, yeah, they did that.
Like, that was actually the thought process I've been under for 27 years. Even as a newborn baby, I came out of the womb thinking they call it Spam because it's everywhere.
Well, actually, I mean spiced ham. I was just bullshitting you.
Oh, bastard. I believed you. I trusted you, and you lied to me with your lie words out your mouth hole.
Oh my god, I can't believe that works.
I trusted you, Alex.
Oh my god.
You betrayed me with your artificial Spam ham story.
Oh, yes. Okay. Ooh.
The reason I don't like Spam is just like how it looks, because it looks like it has a horrible texture, because it literally just looks like you slopped like a side of meat off of Kirby and like put it in like an oily can.
Yeah, just don't, if you like don't just eat it straight out of the can and do other stuff with it and like prepare it and whatnot, it's great. It's absolutely great. Like fried Spam, just like give it a little bit of a toasting. That shit's fucking great. Holy crap.
Like in the toaster?
No, don't put meat in a toaster. That actually, I wonder, can you put a bit of steak in there? Just toast it.
Quick, we have to go to the TikTok cooking gurus. I'm sure they know.
Oh, one day we've got to do a little cooking segment where we just do dumb cooking things like that. Let's put this nice bit of T-bone ribeye into the toaster.
Yeah. One of my friends and I actually had an idea for like a cooking YouTube channel where instead of it being like any interesting pitch, it's just like making stuff out of our family cookbooks just to like preserve the knowledge outside of our family.
That's fair. But that sounds like it just has like a very limited shelf life, considering
Oh, yeah. It'd just be like a fun side project.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Fair.
Anyway, have you made anything horrible recently?
Recently, actually, no.
Oh.
When it comes to home cooking, I'm not really cooking all that much lately, mainly because of my diet. The way that I've gone forward with it is there's a bunch of ready meal kind of healthy stuff, healthy ready meals recently, and I've been trying them out. And they're essentially like little kind of self-contained meals like chicken tikka, freaking Korean beef chili, all this kind of stuff. And it's going pretty well because like each container is like 400 grams, but it's only like 350 kcals, which is pretty nice. So my current diet is essentially 2 of those a day, 1 for lunch, 1 for dinner, and in the morning I have a meal replacement shake, which I'm trying from a company which seemed kind of shady, but it seems kind of good actually. So it's, I don't know, I'm testing it out and it seems to be working quite nice.
Nice. Let me actually tell the story of what inspired this topic when we were talking yesterday.
Oh no.
So for those of you who don't know, I am an amateur bodybuilder. I'm trying to cut down the fat so I can start actually adding muscle back to my body, because last August I was 35 pounds overweight. Now after about 3 months of taking this seriously, I am down to about 17 pounds overweight. More like, actually, this might be a higher number, because 190 is normal for men my size, and I'm aiming for 200. I mean, I looked good at 200, so that's just what I'm aiming at. But, so here's the thing. I have been struggling to hit my protein and fiber goals. If I don't get enough protein, I just don't recover my muscles as fast, if I understand correctly, because protein is important for repairing torn muscle tissue from a good workout. But fiber is good for not getting constipated.
You gotta keep that, you gotta get in the flow state with that shit.
Oh, that was good. That was good. But no, so the thing is, though, is I need to make sure I'm hitting fiber and protein goals. But, like, if I hit the protein goals and not the fiber goals, that could be a very serious issue, and I just might never shit again and die. So I've been trying to, like, make sure that I get enough of both. So, like, my breakfasts are, like, cereal that's high in fiber, or as I like to call it, wet cardboard. But, so the thing is, though, is my protein goal is important. I never hit it, so I decided I need to come up with some recipes. So I asked my brother, and he recommended this stuff called protein fluff. And I was like, where do you buy it? And he was like, you don't. You make it. So my roommate's been calling this cum, but it's actually called protein fluff. So what it is it is protein powder, flavorless, fat-free Greek yogurt, 8 grams of pudding mix, and 3 grams of a sweetener of your choice mixed together, and then topped with whatever. So my specific kind of this clocks in at about 150 calories base without any toppings. And it is like a quarter of my daily protein. And it does not taste good normally. You really have to add toppings to this shit. It is vile. Like, it is just every last stereotype about, like, protein foods. This is, like, the quintessential stereotype of protein foods. It is not amazing. But it satisfies my sweet tooth, so I can't say it's that bad. Keeps me from eating Skittles or something. But the thing is, though, is yesterday, I went grocery shopping. So I came back with, like, more whipped cream, because I use fat-free, low-cal whipped cream to kind of, like, add a little bit of moisture. Came back with some pudding mix and a couple of other things that I could use to make this just a little bit better. And I was like, okay, I'm going to have some protein fluff because I have a sweet tooth and would like some protein right now. So I go in my fridge, I look at my fat-free Greek yogurt and go, I don't have enough for this, but I still tried anyway. And I ended up with like a shaggy dough. I somehow made a shaggy dough out of Greek yogurt and a pudding mix. So we're already off to a great start on this batch. It's not supposed to be that consistency. It's supposed to be the consistency of pudding. So I think to myself, okay, I've still got some of my protein Greek yogurt in here. What if we use that to add to the liquid base? And wow, it worked. It returned to a liquid state. All right, this is allegedly food now. But now it was too liquidy, so I added in a little bit more protein powder and pudding mix. So now it's the perfect consistency. I got it right. My spoon isn't traveling through it as much as I'd like, but that's okay. Like, it still looks edible. So I add my sprinkles, add my whipped cream, ready to go, ready to have some protein fluff. I stick the spoon in. The spoon is unaffected by gravity and stands straight up.
Oh, that's gonna do a good clogging effect.
Thankfully, I made chili last night, so I spared myself.
Oh, no.
But so the thing is, though, so this was right before you and I had our call to do a duos episode of Calbus, which is why I opened that call with you sounding miserable, because I was sitting here in my chair in the summer heat, eating what can basically be described as glue for strong people. This was literally the chalkiest, most vile, stickiest, and most, like, it was like eating solidified pus. I used cheesecake pudding mix to give it flavor, and all it tasted like was vanilla protein shake and, like, Greek yogurt mixed with, like, somehow salt. I didn't even salt this. And I was sitting there like forcing this down, like, yeah, this is really good for me. Yeah, I'm gonna get so strong. Yeah. Like just forcing it down, and it sounded like a horse trying to swallow like an entire block of hay at once. It was just like just trying to just get it down. And so eventually I added even more whipped cream, completely negating the low-calorie benefits, because now it was like 300 calories of just whipped fucking cream. And I'm sitting there trying with all of my might to just finish the fight. I'm convinced that that was probably my entire daily protein consumption in a single bowl. And my stomach, as you can imagine, felt like it was ready to commit suicide immediately after. I got like 75% of the way in, and I messaged my friend like, I'm not going to the gym today. I have made a critical mistake in my life and my decision-making process.
Oh, sorry. You just said finish the fight. It's like, your meal should not be freaking Halo 3. Oh yeah, my God. That's
why I was so low energy when we started the call yesterday, because I was just like, oh, if only the Reaper would come and just end my suffering. I ended up throwing away the last quarter. I just couldn't. I felt so bad because that's so much food wasted, but like I couldn't. I couldn't. God. Anyway, ask me about my fitness recipes.
You make a cookbook.
Oh my God. Like, here's the thing. I believe that good protein fluff exists and can be done. That was like my 4th batch I've ever made, and it was probably the worst one I've ever made. The others have been food at best. So it's like...
what if we were to make a Tangents cookbook and keep it on brand? So we start off as one recipe, but we end up with something completely different.
And anyway, with your spaghetti squash, you should have a delicious steak by the end.
Now, as we make this delicious chicken katsu burger, the chocolate cake should be coming out of the oven right now.
It's just a treasure hunt to find the proper recipe steps.
Oh my God.
The thing that kind of shatters me, though, yesterday is I've been listening to the Guilty Gear soundtrack to, like, keep myself kind of amped.
Yeah.
And, I was listening to Soul Bad Guy's theme, which is like a very heavy theme about do what it takes to get your success.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's just like listening to that while choking down protein fluff on the verge of tears. And thinking about it, it's just the funniest thing because it's just like really intense gym music while this dude in like a spaghetti strap tank top is curled up in his chair just shoving whipped cream in his mouth.
It's living the dream.
Living the dream. Honestly, I'm actually super excited. I'm going to be making Cheddar Chex mix today that also is protein infused. I'm not sure how good that's going to come out, though, because my protein powder has a very strong vanilla flavor. I'm not sure if vanilla cheddar is going to be a good combo, but like if I make it, I have to eat all of it. That's the rule. I don't like wasting food.
Well, let us know how it goes.
Yeah, next Tangents episode, crying while listening to Potemkin's theme and eating Chex Mix.
That's the title. That's the title.
The real Potemkin buster was the damage I do to my body trying to find good volume eating tricks.
Speaking about, you know, what we're going to be eating today and whatnot, I've been pretty good with how I'm eating at the moment. I've been losing weight consistently for the last month now. But today...
I hope you find it soon.
Same.
I'm sorry.
Oh. But no, like today is actually my birthday, and I was thinking I'm gonna go a little bit loose today. I'm not gonna be completely strict and stay under 1,780 calories for the day. So I wake up and I'm thinking I'm gonna get a Chinese delivery today. I feel like treating myself. I like Chinese meals. And then my dad walks in and is like, happy birthday, and there's a freaking giant chocolate cake. It's like, what am I meant to do with this? This feeds 16 people. I super appreciate it. Oh no. This last month's work is out the window. What is this?
Honestly, like, I love days like that. They're like, I love just having like a really nice big cheat day, maybe like once every 2 months, because you earn it at a certain point, and there's only so much damage you can do to your body in a single day. at least dietarily.
That's the thing. The way I'm approaching it is it's a case of each day, normally, I'm being super strict about how it is. I'm staying underneath a certain calorie. I'm doing a little bit of exercise. I'm doing what I can in the situation I am in. So if I'm doing a cheat day, the way I'm approaching it is I have a cheat day once every 2 weeks, just until I can like start to wean myself off and get used to the other thing instead of just like balls to the wall, cold turkey kind of thing. I'm breaking my body in slowly.
Balls to the wall, cold turkey is more my thing, and as you know, it works out 40% of the time.
Yeah, I'd rather not have the yo-yo effect, which I've experienced once or twice already with this one as it is. So I'm just fine-tuning things. So like the cheat days, as long as I just don't go absolutely fucking batshit wild, like run into a sweet store and just be like, blah, 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 blah. No, I just be a bit more lenient on myself. Be like, yeah, I could eat this. I could eat a little bit of that. I could drink that. But I don't go absolutely extreme. It's like my cheat days are just loosening up a little bit. Not on like a sole purpose of like, you see that chicken? No, it's mine now, boy. Give it.
You see, for me, like, I actually do really well with cold turkey, despite that 40% comment, because like, this is like the weirdest thing. When I try and do stuff normally and healthily, it never works out because I find ways to be lenient. But when I go like cold turkey, everything just becomes like a battle of will, and you know how I am with battles of will.
This goes back to what we were talking about. Like, I'm the slow burner, and you're the Zergerush approach to everything.
Which is weird because like every time I play like a character, I always play the big slow beef stick on repeat. Like here's the thing though. Let me tell you about the Christmas depression because it is the funniest thing to me.
Oh, I have a story for a depression food-related thing after this.
So here's the thing. When I got out of college, I was about 300 pounds, and I got on keto because I heard it would be helpful from one of my brother's friends. Yeah. And so I don't think he's the one who introduced me to it. Again, this was 5 years ago at this point. Jesus Christ. So the thing is, though, I started doing keto, and my parents are very supportive, but I had to take a bit more control over my diet and have more veggies. And this was around Christmas, which is when my dad makes the best thing he makes. Like, my dad's an amazing chef. Like, I really admire his ability. But, so the thing is, though, is my dad, every year at Christmas, or around that time, makes homemade Chex Mix. And it is, hand to God, my favorite snack food in the universe. Like 5 sticks of butter go into a single batch. So to call it health food is to call, the Impossible Burger full on meat. Like it's not healthy for you in the slightest. 60% less fat than potato chips? No, 60% more. But the thing is though, is he makes a spicy batch, which is my favorite thing because it hurts. He makes it for us. He doesn't make it for anyone else. So like, I had a year where my buddy Gilbert came over to my house, and he had some of the hot Chex Mix without thinking, and like burst into tears due to the pain. We still reference that every time we're trying to because we want that level of heat back. That shit fermented. It was amazing. But so the thing about keto is you want to cut down on your carbs. You want to keep it below 20 net carbs. And for those of you who don't know, wheat is all carb, so I couldn't have any of the Chex Mix. So I actually made it the entire Christmas season without having any Chex Mix, and I was really proud of myself. But there were nights when my mom caught me downstairs with the lid off the Chex Mix bowl, staring at it at like 1 a.m. Just contemplating, trying to not eat the Chex Mix, but just looking at it like, just like 1 a.m. in my underpants, just staring at a bagel chip. And this went on for like 2 months while it was in the house.
Oh, no.
I wanted it so bad, dude. Like, that's the thing. Once I set my mind to something, I can just, like, not. It's been a little bit harder recently, but, like, I feel like once you have, like, your driving factor, it's easier. But God, dude, the Christmas Chex Mix depression is seared in my mind because I remember being downstairs and just staring at the container full of Chex Mix.
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of a wholesome-ish story. My one is very much not. Uh, two off. I have two off. So one is what happened during a specific week in university, and the other is depression food is the best way to put it. It's a recipe for depression.
Oh yeah, we exchanging depression recipes, if you will.
So if you want to see get the ingredients list and how to make these, watch out for the Tangents cookbook coming out very soon.
Okay, come on, we can't shit post it. We cannot shit post this into reality. Neither of us have time to make it.
Dude, people shit posted this podcast into reality. Okay. During university, I was doing a bachelor's honors in digital media. I was in the second year, my final year, doing a lot of just really shitty things that I was not enjoying. And it was a crunch week leading up to finals and everything doing that. I was just working nonstop, covering for other people's work as well in group projects, all this kind of stuff. You know, the typical kind of thing. And I didn't have time to eat. So I decided to cook. So I decided to, hey, I'm just going to order in whilst I do all my work. I spent an entire week just working through all these different projects, catching up, doing everything I needed to do. And I ordered in a Chinese meal for basic Chinese food for every meal. For lunch and dinner, and it got so goddamn bad because I wasn't even focusing on the food side of things. I was just so engrossed in the work that I just had the tunnel vision to get all this stuff done.
Yeah.
Day 3, I actually took a step back. I was like, oh my god, I've been eating like crap the last few days. This is terrible. Oh shit, I gotta get back to work, and I continued to do it. But this time, I had a bit of self-conscious about it. To which point, I stopped ordering from the same place because I didn't want them to think I was some sort of absolute degenerate. So over the course of that week, I essentially explored the entire city's repertoire of Chinese takeouts just so I didn't seem like an absolute weirdo from each individual one. Because I didn't want to order multiple times over multiple days from just a handful. So that was my way around that.
See, for me, I never actually order in for the most part. I just don't like doing it. But I've had to get DoorDash a couple of times while I've been at my new place. And I've had the same delivery driver every time. So at this point, she just rolls up to my apartment and calls me. And it's just like, hey, food? Yeah, have a nice one. You too.
See, that would be lovely. That'd be lovely. Over here, it's either, oh, you didn't come to the door within 5 seconds, I'm going to leave it on your doorstep. Or they look at you, don't say anything, hand the food, give a judging look, and then walk away.
Yeah, you see, I think the thing is she knows I tip well. So, like, she just makes it a point to try and pick my orders. I don't know how DoorDash works. I'm not sure if you can see who orders something.
I have no idea. Quite likely, actually. But, maybe it's like, I'm pretty sure Uber does that kind of thing, don't they? Yeah, I'm pretty sure like Uber allows you to like screen the clients that you're taking. Like you can see where they start from and where they're wanting to go. So he's like, yeah, I can do that. So I think there is some sort of like screening process. I don't know. I don't work. So I don't know. Let us if anyone actually works for like one of these rideshare companies, let us know how that works actually in one of the comments. Because that'd actually be kind of interesting to know.
My thing is with like tipping well is like if I have to inconvenience somebody for me to get like my Taco Bell, I'm going to tip you so much because I feel bad for making you do your job. Oh my god. Back when I was in college, a similar story to you, it was my first finals week of living on campus. And I was living with my roommate now, actually, and we were both in the same game art class.
Mm-hmm.
So we really needed to eat, but the dining hall kept getting closed by the time we were hungry. So we had to do the trash run, which is when we went to McDonald's and ordered a stupid amount of food and then consumed it from the hours of like 9 to 3.
Oh my god, cold McDonald's food is gross. What the hell, dude?
And we did this for like 5 days, and you want to know how we wrapped it up? We took our buddy Sean to that McDonald's, and then he did his best to eat 20 McBurgers, single pounder. I don't know, the one patty one, the single baby, the tiny Mac. I don't know what it's called.
But Tiny Mac.
Dude tried to eat 20 of these, and I've still got the images somewhere of this man, like, shoving food down his face, looking as though reality had collapsed in upon him by, like, Burger 16. I have no idea why he wanted to go there and consume 20 burgers. But he got the 16. He got the 16, and then the rest of us all just ate one. He was too tired and too burgered out to even look at them, so we all just ate one each.
Actually, speaking of fast food in college, when I was back in university, like the first year that I was there, I had two other roommates that I knew from college. Going into university, we moved in, and we were all, two of us were on the same course, and the other one was on a different course behind us. So we just chilled out there, and one Valentine's Day, one of my friends was like, one of the guys there was just extremely depressed, like going through some heavy shit. So we were like, hey, what do you want to do today? And so that Valentine's Day, he wanted to watch, so it was Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. He wanted to watch that film whilst eating fast food. But the thing is, it wasn't any normal fast food. It was the dream fast food. That's right. We made a 3-course meal where each thing was we went to each individual fast food restaurant that we enjoyed and got each element of the meal that we wanted from it. So that's right. We got the fries from McDonald's. We got the burgers from like Burger King for one person. We got the fried chicken from KFC for the sides. We just created a 3-course meal around exactly what we liked from each individual fast food restaurant. It was a goddamn military operation to make sure we got everything right and get it back in time so everything wasn't just dead cold. That was a feast for royalty whilst watching a mediocre film.
Man, I like that. That's just like a fun story. I love doing weird like troll runs like that. You want to know what else I love, Alex?
Well, actually, before you go into that, can I tell you something I hate?
Is it me? Are you finally coming out that our love is over?
I really want to regale you with the Nacho Lasagna recipe that I made.
Oh no. Okay, hit me.
So
remember, you're talking to like third generation Italian. So like,
trust me, the lasagna is by name only.
Okay.
So there's certain parts I don't want to say because it created a nickname that I've been trying to kill off for a while. I'll tell you afterwards, but I'm not putting it on the podcast. There was a recipe that I created, and this was something that I've made on multiple times. It's not something to have often. It is most definitely an indulgence. But this is the Nacho Lasagna. Get yourself...
Oh, I thought you said nature lasagna earlier. That's why I was confused.
Oh no, Nacho Lasagna. So, you get yourself a lasagna tray. Get a deep dish tray. Anything will do. You put a base layer of nacho chips on the bottom. You can use flavored if you want. It's absolutely fine. Then you put a thin layer of chili on top of that. Nice. Put it on there. Then you put a bit of cheese sauce on top of it. Get it an even spread. Then on top of that, you just get some cheddar cheese, just grate it up, put it on top, and then bits of mozzarella splattered about as well. Then you put assorted meats such as pepperoni, smoked sausage, other German selection deli meats, I don't know. Then you add some spices. Then you repeat that for 2 more layers. Then you cook in the oven at a reasonable heat for around about 20 minutes until everything is nice, crispy, golden, gooey, and just warm. And then you consume and die. It was...
I was about to say, I can actually feel my arteries clogging listening to this idea.
The thing is, right, it sounds like an abomination, but I made it for my flatmates twice, and the first time they were like, oh my god, that sounds... Then they tried it, and they were like, make it again.
Yeah, I feel like I would actually develop heart problems if I ate that.
Yeah, that's why I kind of stopped it. It's because it takes a lot. It doesn't take that long to make. It's just it's extremely bad for you. So and you only make it when you feel like you deserve that kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Honestly, like, I love having leftover chili because chili is just versatile. You know what I mean? Like, my breakfast this morning was an egg over a bed of chili.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was really good. Hi, it's me, Luma from the future, and I hope you guys are enjoying the episode so far. What future? I don't know, because technically, I'm in your past, but from current Lumo's future. But, time travel is wacky, and we're not here to discuss that right now. Instead, I wanted to tell you guys about our Patreon. Without the support of our patrons, we probably couldn't be doing this as hard as we're doing this. I'd like to take this moment to thank our 2 top-tier sponsors, Alakar and Audrey. The extra support that you guys give by supporting the Patreon at the highest tier makes all the difference in the world, and as always, we appreciate every other single patron as well for helping us keep this podcast running and keeping the lights on at home. If you guys want to support the show, get extra content, extra features, and a buttload of fun stuff, by all means, patreon.com/podcasttangents. But as always, your continued viewership is always enough for us. But again, please do consider supporting the Patreon so you can get all those fun, cool features, and also so we can afford to hire an editor. All right, I'm gonna throw you back into the past, which is my past, but you're current. Again, time travel is stupid. And we are back from that ad read. For you, it's been but seconds, but for us, it has been 5 days.
It's been harrowing. It's been a harrowing time.
I'm covered in, I don't know if this is my blood or somebody else's at this point. Anyway, we're going to talk about video games now. But no, genuinely though, I actually, do you want to start this one or do you want me to? Because the topic was our favorite video games of all time. And I am a flaky whore. So, like, you might want to be the first one, because I got too many loves in this court.
For this, when we were discussing this, favorite games of all time, to me, my favorite games aren't necessarily good games. It's just games that, like, mean something to me. So this is, again, like, obviously from this topic, it's extremely subjective, it's extremely personal, and all this kind of stuff.
No,
so
our opinions are objective all the time. They're not opinions, they're scientific theories.
No. So a lot of my like favorite games of all time generally just come from like the time in my life that I was playing it, and it just like struck a chord with me. But now looking back at some of them, I'm just like, actually, no, the game's pretty shit. I don't like it anymore. But these are the ones. These are the ones that have really stood the test of time in my mind. And a lot of them come from when I was first getting into gaming, because like one of my absolute favorite games is 3 games, and it spans across the GameCube and the Wii, and that's Metroid Prime trilogy. Because
hell yeah.
Holy crap, those were amazing games. The third one was somewhat lacking, but because of like the first 2 at the same time, all the stuff going into it, I could now control Samus's arm. Oh, it was just a whole new layer, and it's still a good game. It was still a good game.
Yeah.
Metroid Prime really stands out for me. Another one is like the first game I ever really owned, which was a PS1 game, which was Final Fantasy VII, the original. That was the first game I ever owned, and it will forever hold a special place in my heart because it's still a damn good game.
Yeah.
Then it gets a little bit weird. I've got a little list in front of me here. The game that had the most emotional impact on me, and it's a game that is in a category that, like, in a genre that I don't normally enjoy, and that's Celeste. And that's solely because it's such a tight game mechanically. It's visually beautiful whilst being simplistic at the same time. But just the message behind it is so well thought out. And it came out at the exact moment that I needed it in my life. And holy crap, that game is just, to me, it's just a game of perfection. So many levels. And like Lena Raine's music score for it as well is just... so good. Yeah. So good.
The entire game is just presented so well.
Oh, Celeste is just so fantastic. Then, like, the other three that I'm just going to throw out really quick is just, like, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, because it's just one of the most immersive RPGs that I've played, personally. Dead Space 2. Not the first one, Dead Space 2, because that's the one I put more hours into.
Yeah, Dead Space 2 just slaps. I love that one.
Dead Space 2 is so good. Dead Space 3 we don't talk about. But Resident Evil 4 on the Wii. Oh, yes! That one. I played until I got... every single weapon upgraded. I played through that so many damn times, and I am so excited for the VR version coming out this year.
God, dude, I'm so excited that VR horror games are just being a thing now.
I know, it's so good. I'm waiting for someone to make either a port or a remake of Dead Space in VR, because that would be
I want Nintendo to just own up and stop being weenies and give us Metroid Prime VR.
Oh, please. Like, that's one of the reasons I'm trying to learn coding, is because I want to make a mod for for Metroid Prime, so I can probably run it in VR. Because there is one that's out there at the moment, but it's only moving the head. You still have to play with controller and everything else, so you can just, like, look around with the helmet.
Yeah.
I want to make it so you can control the arm with the controllers. That
would be the ideal.
That's why I'm wanting to learn coding, is because I want to make VR mods for flat screen games.
See, like, on my end, like, as weird as it is, my favorite games tend to be consistently in flux because new things replace the old things for me.
Yeah.
So, like, you asked me last year, I would have said Psychonauts, because I think Double Fine did a really amazing job just making a small world feel big.
Mm-hmm.
And it had a nice story about just, like, believing in your abilities and pushing beyond. But as 2020 kind of happened and I had to forcefully readjust my entire mindset to be more aggressive towards my goals, Psychonauts kind of fell out of the way for basically anything that would spur me to action. So then Final Fantasy got added, which is when I went through that whole phase of, like, big Northman energy. Because, like,
yep,
my Warrior of Light was just dependable, and I wanted to be dependable. So I made it a point to try and be more dependable. And then more recently, like, Guilty Gear has taken over because one thing that I think fighting games can teach people that I think is a necessary skill?
Adaptability?
Decision-making under pressure. Because if you stall in a fighting game to think about your next option, you're done. That's it. And while you want to deliberate over some decisions, I think being able to, like, quickly make a decision and commit to it is probably one of the best skills that you can pull from a video game.
True, this is true.
So, like, a lot of my games are based off of stuff that, like, they can teach me. So, like, for Guilty Gear, it's literally just, like, take the risk, buy the drip, like, it's like, just, you know, take risks, make decisions, stick to them. Which is half of why I like playing Potemkin, because I have committed only one of us is getting out of this.
No.
Potemkin's not, he can't retreat. He's going forward. And so, like, that's methodology that I like to have, is like, I have to take more risks, move faster, and think about what I'm doing before I move. And when I have a plan, I need to execute it to a T. So, like, that's why I've been spending so much time recently talking about Guilty Gear, because that's currently my favorite game. I'm having a lot of fun with it. But for, like, all-time favorites, I actually think I gotta give this to Minecraft. It has been with me every step of my life since I was a small child. Like, I have grown up with Minecraft at this point. Like, I bought it when it was in alpha. When, like, the most amazing thing you could do in Minecraft was make, like, a nice rail and a nice house out of just oak, since there was only oak. And you could get diamonds, but they didn't turn off the game mode cheat in the alpha, so you could enter dev mode and give yourself a bunch of diamonds. And one of my fondest Minecraft memories was cheating in a bunch of diamonds to make myself a crappy house, but I didn't know you needed iron to break them. So I didn't have the iron pickaxe to break these. So the house, every time I made a mistake, which I made a lot of because my laptop was bad and laggy at the time, I made this horrible, like, hard to navigate, like, elaborate, shitty block house out of diamond blocks, and then made a rail system. And it was, for some odd reason, magical to me to ride my rail system up the mountain and just look out into the fog-covered world, because I couldn't render more than 4 chunks ahead of me. it was, I don't know, it was formative to me. Same thing for like World of Warcraft. I remember like being in high school and just playing WoW with my brother and leveling my rogue, who never made it to level cap in a single expansion, by the way. I leveled other characters after my brother stopped playing, but like that's another one where it's like I love the scope of this world and it is wonderful. I like Wrath of the Lich King might be one of my favorite just things in gaming. Then Cataclysm happened and we don't talk about that. But like Final Fantasy's up there because I've had nothing but like interpersonal grief playing Final Fantasy 14, but it's still one of my favorite games. And I question if that's because it's given me a lot of memories, both good and bad, or if it's simply because it's a good game. It's a little bit content starved right now, but it is still up there. God, what's another one? Like, a lot of these games are just based around the relationships I made with people, I realize. I know Dead Space 2 is up there. Same with Amnesia, because I can speedrun both of those games.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, no, like, I'm looking through my Steam library. I'm curious what'll happen if I sort by time played. Is that even, like, an option?
I think you can do that. Like,
I'm curious now. I want to... Hold on, I gotta look this up.
Whilst you do that, one that didn't make the list for me was Tony Hawk's Underground Skater 2, I think it is.
Oh, I love Tony Hawk's Underground.
It's the one where you start off in like what was it, in the bedroom, like making your skateboard, and then you jump out the window. It was like the first one that you can like jump off your skateboard and run around and climb shit.
Yeah.
Mainly because I used to play that in multiplayer with one of my brothers, and we made a game of it where we would just play tag in it, like literal tag. So because like if you connect with each other, then you just throw each other off the boards. So we just made in like the first level, I just have this vivid memory of playing tag in there, and I created this character which was just an abomination, and it was like horrifying face, misproportioned body, arms that dragged against the ground as it skated. And I just remember him being absolutely freaked out by it being chased by this thing through the neighborhood, just running across the roof going like, I'm gonna get you. We're playing tag.
Oh man, you know what I can't believe I forgot, but I guess I can realize that I forgot because Valve did too.
Oh no, TF2.
TF2. 1,500 hours played.
Oh, that's a lot of hours.
God, dude, I miss Team Fortress 2. God, back in college and like up until like until like I was 25, it used to be, it's the weekend, call up boys, we're doing some MVM, let's get this bread, let's get this gold, let's get them Australian weapons. I must have given Valve enough money to put a child through college just in MVM tickets. Like, God, there's just so much to TF2 that, like, I just wish there was just more of it now. Like, they stopped updating it for whatever reason. I guess the ficus just ran out of resources. But, like, the next highest is Warframe, which I wouldn't recommend to anybody at this point.
Yeah, no.
Then after that is Gary's mod, and then depressingly, Phantasy Star Online 2. How do I have more hours in PSO2 than I do in Final Fantasy? Hold on, what's going on here?
That sudden realization.
Something is wrong. Something is very wrong there. I think, oh, you know what? I know what it is. It's because I wasn't using Steam to launch 14 until like the last year.
Oh, that's
because
fair.
They didn't force you to. Hold on. Now I have to log into 14 and see what my actual playtime is because I'm just exceedingly curious. Well, it's like the next highest is my soundboard. Like,
oh, actually, another one for me would be the what's it called? Legend of Zelda Wind Waker.
See, for me, it'd be Twilight Princess.
It's Twilight Princess and Wind Waker for me. But Wind Waker was the one. It holds a special place in my heart because that's the one that at the time I got for the GameCube, because like the GameCube was the first console I ever owned, and I got it when I was about 12, I think it was.
Yeah.
I got it when I was 12, and when I got it on my birthday, I got Luigi's Mansion, I got Super Smash Bros. Melee, and I got frickin' what's it called? Wind Waker. And it wasn't just Wind Waker. It was Wind Waker, the special edition one, which came with Ocarina of Time. It came with Majora's Mask, and it came with the Master Sword edition. So it had like all the difficult versions, like, you know, the Master Challenge.
Yeah,
one.
the Master Quest. Yeah.
So that one game gave me like 4, and it was my introduction to the Zelda series. But Wind Waker was also the one where I got my mum into gaming at the time, and she was able to like basically beat the game way easier than any of us. Like, she played that game so damn much. She completed all the photography stuff with the miniatures as well. She knew exactly where to go. She knew how to optimize her route. It was insane. She beat that game to completion way closer than any of us.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready?
How many hours?
On Northman Southman, just Northman Southman, my main character on Famfrit, we have 121 days, 16 hours, and 8 minutes.
Oh.
Now let's figure out what that is in just total hours for the sake of conversation. Okay, so 121 times 24 plus 16. That is 2,920 hours of Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn: Shadowbringers.
That's a lot. That's a lot. I've only got 1.4K.
To be fair, when I worked retail, I basically came home and logged on to 14 because I was just too depressed to do anything.
Yeah, no, that tracks. That actually tracks.
I didn't even play the game. I literally just ran around the yard of the Free Company house because I was just so sick of dealing with people's drama in that game. The real content in Final Fantasy XIV is the interpersonal relationships that die due to playing Final Fantasy XIV.
Actually, I wonder, has there been an update yet? Is the iterant Mog done anything? Is got anything new yet?
Bro, we're just waiting for Endwalker at this point.
Yeah, but we can still. They're mentioning.
Do you expect Square Enix to add any sort of content to their game? They have the MSQ. Be grateful. Go sit in Boja for an hour.
Shut the hell up, dude. No, there's the tombstones that you get for like running Praetorium over and over and over. I'm waiting for those because I need to get I want to farm those instead of doing freaking. I've got 2 more dog mounts to get. I've got 2 freaking dog mounts to get, and because they do not drop for me, the amount of times that I've been in farming parties for those 2 damn mounts, and everyone else gets it, and then I don't because everyone's like, we've been doing this for hours. Okay, we're gonna break up now. It's like, come on, it's unreal. It's unreasonably unreal. Okay, and I'm just so fed up that I just want to farm Praetorium for them. I do not give a damn.
See, I'm actually burned out on Final Fantasy right now, and do you know why?
Why is that?
I am on in rage of the part 1 of Eden's Promise, the final fight, E12S. I am at the fucking end, and I cannot, for the life of me, get people with a brain cell. I don't know what the fuck it is about people seeing, in Rage Prog, well, this is my first time in the fight. Surely I can just bullshit it. And then they just drag the party down. The amount of times I have died to the first mechanic because somebody is too stupid to realize a stack marker. I should go and stack with them. It's too damn high. There are some things, like Dwayne the Chart Johnson, that you just can't bullshit, and you need to know the strat.
That's the
thing,
yeah.
But Shiva, for example, you can completely bullshit. It's all got visual feedback. And that's where people die.
Absolutely. Like, the amount of times I've gone into farming parties and on, like, in the looking for group messages, like, please no strats. And I go in, I know the strats, I know what I'm doing with this fight. For example, Suzaku. It's not exactly a hard fight when you're doing it and going in and doing it as, unsynced and all that kind of stuff. But there's like 1 or 2 mechanics that you kind of need to know, otherwise it wipes the party.
Yeah.
And we go in and we get the full party. It's like, we even ask, hey, do you know what to do at these points? And everybody goes, yeah, we got it, don't worry. And then they don't have it. They don't understand what's going on. And we say, hey, could you do, this is the mechanic, could you do this? And then they ignore us. And then they go, oh, what? You're all dragging us down. What are you doing wrong? Like, come on, keep it.
Look, this is the issue with Final Fantasy XIV. And I love the team. I love the game's director. Yoshida's a wonderful director. The lack of any sort of accountability in this game is exactly why the game is full of people who are bad at it. Like, the terms of service protect people who don't want to learn how to play, and the fact that damage meters aren't a commonplace thing basically is a free pass for everyone to be a shitter. Like, until I downloaded a DPS meter, I had no idea that I was literally in the bottom 1% of players. Like, I'm now in the top 60% of warriors, I would say. And it's only because I had those numbers. If I didn't have those, I would still think I was the world's hottest shit and never improve because I had no feedback on it. In a game with DPS checks, people need to know their DPS, and giving them a training dummy doesn't help at all.
No, They
don't allow DPS meters because they don't want people to get flamed for it. But all they do is enable the great community to flame people because we're not allowed to call them out on being bad. Like, I've had complete parties of E12S just vanish because somebody was too bad at Shiva, so I kicked them. And people just left because I was toxic. No, I kicked them because I said this was Lions Prog. Like, you don't get to fail the first mechanic 5 times in a row and then be like, how do I do this? This isn't the party for you.
Exactly.
But it's toxic to kick them. Final Fantasy is a wonderful game with a culture problem.
That's why when I go into like raid parties, if I'm doing like farm parties and all that kind of stuff, if I don't know what the thing, but I want to learn it, I quickly join in and be like, okay, we're still setting up. Okay, I'm watching a tutorial right now.
Yeah,
bear with me. This is going to be my first time running through. I will learn the mechanics. I'm taking the effort to learn it instead of just being like, I'll get dragged through.
Like, that's okay for extreme trials. The guide for E12S is like 45 minutes long in total.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, the second phase does not fuck around at all. It is hilarious, but it doesn't screw around. But the first phase doesn't screw around either. And people need to know what the hell to do. But they don't. I am at the fights in Rage. I have seen in Rage, I know how to do the mechanics. I have seen in Rage twice because I can't get a party that can get past Shiva consistently. But yeah, no, like, Final Fantasy just has a straight up culture problem because there's no accountability. There is no real method of recourse when someone holds you back.
Absolutely.
And I've been the one to hold people back as well, so I can't really speak.
I mean, everyone starts off bad. You learn, poops, and it's a case of how you approach that. If you don't give a damn about getting better and you just want to go through and experience things, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Do the MSQ, but if you want to be jumping into like the extreme stuff that requires teamwork and knowing mechanics and having knowledge in what you're going into, don't like have like some sense of like, if you're going to if you don't know what you're doing and people are complaining, being like, you said you knew what you were doing or anything like this, why aren't you learning anything? Don't be shocked when people get annoyed at you because you're dragging people down that are trying to do something difficult that requires knowledge. Don't expect to get dragged through shit.
You want to know what I've kind of experienced in 14 that's weird?
What's that?
Toxic casual syndrome.
Explain?
Where the idea is people who do hard stuff are considered bastards when it's really the people who don't want to try that are the bastards. Like, yeah, I've had this consistently. I've never had a problem with a hardcore raider. I always have problem with people who think that hardcore raiders are elitists.
Yeah, it's a sense of perspective. It's toxic. It's elitism. It's elitism because it's like I don't fit this strict requirement to join in on this hard thing. Oh, how am I supposed to get in there? Elitism. And it's like I can kind of see that, but at the same point,
it's not even that. It's not even that. Hear me out here. I've had so many times in a dungeon where the tank tells me he doesn't want to do the big pulls that the game is obviously designed around because that's not how they do it. Or the healer doesn't want to heal because, the healer doesn't want to do damage because that's not how it was in World of Warcraft, which, first of all, bullshit. I play healer. I play Mistweaver. We do damage in World of Warcraft. But, like, the thing is it's these people who are more likely to pitch a fit when you tell them to push the buttons better, as opposed to the, raider who's having an off day and maybe fucked up 1 or 2 mechanics and just has to step away. I've been both of these people, and I'm not proud of it. But the thing is like, for example, with my last free company, they were extremely hostile towards anyone who did endgame content and would actively try and dissuade people away from hardcore content because it would put that person on a higher level than the rest of the free company. The thing I've noticed in Final Fantasy is a lot of these people who get mad about raiders are mad because they're not as good as the raiders. Like, it's almost like jealousy.
I don't want to say shit on that because I see that kind of stuff happening. I've seen that stuff happening.
Yeah, like you can notice it really well on like the world's worst subreddit, Tales from Duty Finder, and on shitpost 14, which, I mean, they kind of give it like an amplifying effect to this kind of behavior because they post about it so consistently. And it's not a majority of the player base. This is like two competing work camps just in the central United States. But like the East and West Coast are just normal. This is like two dudes in Montana beating the shit out of each other and thinking the entire world is in on it.
I think it just kind of boils down to like play the game how you want to play, get in the content that you want to play, but know that if you're trying to get into something of the harder stuff, you're gonna need to have knowledge. You're gonna have to
put the time in.
Yeah, you can't just expect to walk through everything and just hope everything works out, because the harder content is there to challenge you. It's there that you need to like learn it. You need to have the knowledge and everything going into it, and you need to learn the teamwork as well. You can't just expect to just walk through things. And I think it's just a case of, oh, it's a game. Why do I need to put in effort? The common one that I hear is just like, you can't tell me what to do. You don't pay for my sub.
My personal favorite comeback is, I will if you'll learn how to actually be helpful. They don't take kindly to that. They don't want the free sub in all actuality.
Yeah, because then they can be held accountable. Oh.
I wonder if that's like the issue, is people just don't want to be held accountable. Society.
Yeah.
Bottom text.
Oh, for one episode.
No, it has to be every episode.
I think
everyone.
Okay, that's where we're gonna end, I think. I don't want to deal with society no more.
Unfortunately, unless you want to go the Thoreau route, you are stuck living in a society. Honestly, though, like, here's the thing. If you guys want to do hard content in any video game, there is most certainly a guide. Like Final Fantasy, you gear up with your tombstones, start on the first floor, build up your gear score, try and be at max by the time you hit the fourth floor. Find a static. Find a group of people to play with. World of Warcraft, do your dailies, do your Covenant, do a Mythic Plus World Tour, do some Torghast, find a raid group, pug a little bit in LFR, get your gear. Guild Wars 2, put pants good on, do stuff. I've never played Guild Wars 2 at an endgame level. Phantasy Star, you wanna do hard content? Find whatever the best gear is. Discord always has the information available. But like, whenever someone's like, oh, you can't do hard end content, you're not made for it, like, everyone's made for it. So long as you can look at yourself introspectively, you can do it. It doesn't matter. Like, never let someone tell you you can't do a thing because it takes effort, because that person is just afraid of you being better than them, or they're afraid of putting in effort, and you doing it makes them look bad. Which is that's something I got told, by the way, which is comical.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if you want to get into the harder stuff, you got to know you can't just jump straight into like the top end stuff. You've got to work your way up. Know that there is a process and that there is progression to what you're wanting to do. If you're trying to jump into something because, oh, that has a fancy reward, I want to get the best reward, you're not going to be able to just jump straight in. You've got to work up to things.
Yeah, my friend was doing the last tier's end fight after the cap got removed, and the amount of people who were literally there just to get Ramu as a mount and dragging down every party they were a part of was high enough that she jokes about being actually traumatized by it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, like, again, as I always say, effort goes a long way, and if you can put effort into anything, you can probably get it done. Those who say they can, those who say they can't, both probably right. So just, put the time in. And I think that's where we call time here today on this episode of the Tangents Podcast.
That sounds...
You like that?
That was
like
a segue,
shit?
dude.
That was clean, yeah.
My god, it's almost like we're making progression in our skills with this.
Again, thank you as always to our lovely patrons. You have been the light of our lives for the last day since we made the announcement.
Yeah, it's so bizarre.
This is weird still. And remember, if you want more Tangents content, we've got 5 episodes before this one. If you haven't watched those yet, we've got the exclusive episodes on the Patreon, and we also have the episode 0 on the Patreon as well. As always, my name has been Luma. With me has been Zen. Do you have anything you want to shout out before we get going, buddy?
Latest video just went live. It's a good one. I'm really proud. I put a lot of effort into it. I'm working on some other stuff, which should hopefully be out roughly the same time this episode comes out. So check out my channel, Zenbear Digital on YouTube.
As always, my content is in a state of quantum superposition, so the episode is either out today, out today, out last week, out next week, or out 2 weeks back, or out 2 weeks forward. We just don't know. And as always, we hope to see you in the very next Tangents episode. Get out of my house.
Oh, okay.